Well, well, well. If it isn't Timo giving me a gank with Draven and your Poro, what kind of support are you?
We just say it. Season 15 might be the most fun of a start of a season we've had in a long time. And that's coming from somebody who's been here since season 2. I've played every season. I've played pretty much every single preseason. So today we're going to be going a little bit deeper into all the changes, all the different topics, a couple concerns both in and out of game. Of course, it's not a perfect season, not nowhere close. There are a lot of glaring issues, but there's also a lot of glaring wins. Now, when it comes to this video, I don't make these just to ramble for myself. I want to hear from you guys. So be sure to comment down below what you think of the season, what you like, what you don't like, what you hope they change, and if your main champion actually is it doing well, because mine's doing fantastic. My playstyle and my champion 100% fit this meta, and I love it. So, with all that out of the way, first topic we're going to be talking about is the current jungle meta. Why don't I mention the other roles, top, mid, AD carry, support? Because jungle right now, like I was saying, fits my playstyle, and my playstyle is objectives, hard farming. Right now, you don't really see what you saw from previous seasons where it's like, oh, they're changing the experience, so the best way is to gank, gank, gank. You're not really seeing that right now. What you're seeing is the core jungler that you want right now is somebody that can clear fast, duel well, and nuke objectives. For myself, I've been playing nothing but Vi. I'm currently 14, I believe 14 and 3 in ranked so far. Just about to hit plat. Nothing too crazy, I must say, but that's still a decent win rate for any rank. Just being able to go in the jungle, get the objectives, Feats of Strength, which we'll talk on in a bit here, but I just want to stay on this jungle topic a bit because of how strong jungle is. You know, pretty much every top streamer I've watched have said, yes, jungle's good, jungle's god tier, jungle decides the game. And that's what I felt. They do have so much agency over the game, and I found so many games are 100% decided by which team has the better jungler, and which team is more willing to play around their jungler. Like, 2 of the 3 games I lost were strictly because when the enemy jungler did something, all 4 of their teammates were there. Could I have done more? Sure, we're not. That's not where we're getting into. But it definitely seems like this season, a lot more people are willing to play around their jungler, which we haven't really seen in past seasons. I am worried though when it comes to the jungle meta. Obviously, junglers are strong. Jungle champions, jungle meta. Those are 2 very different things. A lot of people see them as one thing. They're not. Meta and champion strength are 2 completely different things. You could have an on paper strong champion, but they just don't fit the meta, so they don't work. For example, something that I was thinking with all this early game presence, something like Kassadin feels like it's going to be very hard to play because he is such a late game champion, and so much of the action takes place in that first 15 minutes. So when it comes to jungle meta and jungle champions, I'm wondering, are they going to nerf the champions while keeping the meta the same, or are they going to nerf the meta and keep the champions the same? Where's that balance? So I am curious to see what Freak does there, but we have seen this before where a meta happens or a gameplay thing happens. The champion gets nerfed, and then later on they nerf the meta, but then the champion's still nerfed. So you have this champion that was strong because of a meta, and then they got nerfed, and then the meta got nerfed, and then they're just 6 feet under. So that's my thought on the jungle meta. I am curious, but how it goes when it comes to balancing, because the role is too strong right now. I think we can all agree on that. I just hope that they don't completely botch it, but it will be changed, and I'm enjoying it. So, second thing I want to talk about is Feat of Strength, which is basically every season has their gimmick. You know, we had like the elemental dragons, we had mythic items, stuff like that. Like, they always come out with some sort of gimmick at the start of the season to try to freshen things up, change the game, keep people invested. Because obviously, if you have the exact same game every single season, nobody's going to play eventually. They're just going to move on. Like, you're going to have a player base, but you're not going to have an expanding player base. And that's what they want. Or they want to bring people back in. I see where the focus is. But feats, I feel, are the best gimmick that they've ever added. Well, do they need some adjustments? Of course, and those are being adjusted. The big one was the first blood. I don't believe anyone wanted that, because being in a game, that sinking feeling, if someone dies in an invade or your top laners just fucking 1 minute run at each other, somebody dies, they give over first blood, and all of a sudden you have like a 42% chance of winning, I think it was. The team that gives up first blood loses 58% of the time, or something like that. And that feels incredibly demoralizing. So I do like that they're changing it. The 3 kills, that was my original worry, but overall, I feel like the feats are a great system. In my previous video, I actually made a jungle pathing guide of how you can theoretically get the feats unlocked by 10 minutes. So I am curious what kind of metas come out to force tower takedowns, to force the kills, to force objectives. Like, I'm very curious in pro play if we do see lane swapping become just the standard because people want to push down towers. Maybe we see 4 people go to a lane at like 5 minutes and just pound down the tower if they got first blood. It'll be curious how it goes, but I am kind of scared that feats will lead to a bit degenerate gameplay where you're not really playing League of Legends, you're playing feats. Uh, the actual boot upgrades, I'm kind of iffy on. I actually like the default ones. The upgraded ones, I feel like could use a bit of an adjustment. Uh, what I was thinking is either move the fully upgraded items to boots to 3 items instead of 2, because having them super early, what I was reading a lot in a lot of places was the boots were actually not gold efficient or something. By the time you have 2 items, it's more of a late game thing. And I'm pretty sure they put the 2 item requirement in there so you didn't have people like building boots for first item, basically, or right after their main item. It's kind of like a noob blocker. So I'm wondering if they should move that to 3 minutes or 3 items, or move it to 25 minutes. Just kind of push it further down, especially if it's not going to be gold efficient. You don't want people buying it and being silly. I think like the movement speed boots are really good. On Vi, I've been building the armor ones, and those have blocked like 4 to 5,000 damage by the end of the game, and I usually buy that as my 3rd item. So they are super strong. I know there's a couple that are weak. I think the mage one is a little eh. Like, it adds a lot of magic pen, which of course every champion has base magic pen, but like if you're in a situation where you're against 5 pure damage dealers and you're one-shotting them anyway, it's like, do you really care about those upgraded boots? Probably not. Uh, but the biggest thing of this season, I think a lot of people will agree with me. I think if there's anything that you're going to agree with this video, it might be this one. I could be wrong. But the fact that for the first like 30 minutes, it always feels like there's something to do. Like 20 minutes. Before it was like, okay, we got Dragon. Okay, we have downtime. Okay, we got Grubs. Okay, now we got 5 minutes of downtime. But now you're looking, you're like, okay, how can I sneak in some tower damage? Okay, we got to get Dragon. Okay, we got to set up for Grubs. Support, come roam with me. Oh, okay, we got to go defend this tower so we don't give up first. Like, it always feels like there's somewhere to be, somewhere to go on the map, which is something I really haven't felt ever in League. Like, yes, don't get me wrong, once you hit the 20-25 minute mark, you get back to that point where it's like, okay, both objectives are down, we have 6 minute wait time. There's not a whole lot to do. But the early game is early and mid game are insanely packed with stuff to do. I've played every role so far except top lane, so my top lane mains, feel free to comment how you feel it is. But no matter which role I'm playing, I feel like I have so much agency in the game. I have so much to do, so much to add, and it actually feels like being a good macro player is being more rewarded this season than ever before. Whereas in other seasons, being a good macro player didn't really matter. But I feel like this season has really rewarded macro play. Yeah, it's being moved to 3 kills. First blood, yeah, nobody wanted that. I'm of the opinion, I agree with another comment I heard, that I don't think first blood should get anything. I think you already get enough from it. I think they should just remove everything from first blood. I think it should be an announcement still, but nothing else. I am now moving on to number 3, Atakhan. I'm very lukewarm on Atakhan. It's another big objective, sure, but especially if you get maps where it just spawns beside Baron, it's like, okay, I guess we'll take it. Like, it's not Baron level. Now, is that a thing where it's not strong enough yet? Or is that a thing where players don't know how strong it is yet, and they haven't really abused it as much? Which leads me into my another topic of, they don't know how strong it is. I'm sure if you ask 90% of solo queue players below Masters, maybe even some above that, they have no fucking idea which one's spawning. If you told them the names, it'd be a 50-50 shot. They have no fucking idea what these Atakhan buffs do. They have no idea, alright? So I feel like they do need to separate them. Make one green, make one red. Literally, I feel like that's what you have to do, because I've gotten both and they look exactly the fucking same. And I know if I were doing an Atakhan that I knew revived me and I was better at the game, as soon as the fight ended, I'd be diving in because I know I'm only giving over 100 gold. I can fight right after, but if it's the other Atakhan that just buffs your dragons, I'm not going to jump in. So I feel like having that separation will actually lead to more explosive gameplay because you'll see the team that got Atakhan that has their mini GAs, you'll see them instantly fight. They won't be running away. So I actually feel like it'd be a good thing for gameplay and for viewership when it comes to esports to have it separated and have the viewers know and have, they're going to have to make it a lot clearer. I haven't watched much of LCK or LPL yet just because I haven't got a chance to. So I don't know if it is. If they do put big notes on that, be sure to let me know down below, just so I don't keep thinking one thing. And yeah, I do like that the revive isn't just old Chemtech Soul. For those of you who don't remember Chemtech Soul, it basically gave everybody a GA on like a 3-minute cooldown. It was horrible. No, it wasn't a GA. It was you revived for a bit, and then you're able to like do pure damage. Now I don't know if you stayed alive if you got a kill, but like I remember one game we killed a Vayne who had like 20 kills and a GA. We killed her, then we killed her again, then she came back and aced us. It got removed from the game for a reason. I'm glad it's not that. I'm glad it's just the teleport back to base. Overall, that was a very good decision. The other part of Atakhan and the other niche added, gimmick added this season was the flowers. I am so meh on the flowers. I honestly don't care. It does seem redundant in a game that already has Infernal Soul, where you're already running around grabbing stuff. They already have that in the game, so it just seemed like they wanted to add more power. And it is a tuning knob, right? So for those of you who don't know, tuning knob, I believe it's a term that comes from World of Warcraft. It is, if it is from another game, let me know. Where you have an ability or you have a buff where it's just a raw number. And that's what the flowers are. XP, adaptive force, raw number. And what's the easiest way to balance something? Okay, it gives this much adaptive force. Okay, we're going to nerf it to have this much adaptive force. That's a tuning knob. So if you have like a Soraka heal or something where it's like X numbers, you can easily tune that down. But with more niche abilities like Zillion alt, you can't really, there's no tuning knob for that. Whereas raw numbers will have a tune knob. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is for Atakhan. Is the flowers or the tuning knob. Because I don't know if all his other stuff is pretty niche. Sure, you could do the dragons, but like, is anyone really going to notice if dragons give 20% versus 25% extra? Like, it's not noticeable. And that's the thing where people want to notice these things. It's why they don't show Ninja Tabby. It's one of the rare ones where they don't show Ninja Tabby. They don't show what the item does because they know people will overreact because that's what people focus on is what they can see, right? So if they actually showed that, then that. But with flowers, you can see it. So right now, you'll get like 50 flowers and have like 1,500 experience, I think it is. It's pretty good. Like 16 to 17, it gives you like 80% of that level. The last point I want to talk on, and the hottest topic in League right now, is free-to-play. Big quotes around this. Technically, the game is free-to-play. Now, is it a good free-to-play system? No, not anymore. The old loot system was incredible. I will say that. It's the reason I played League so much. It's the reason I would sit down with friends and we would play 30 straight normal games over the course of a whole day, and I'd feel great because the entire time I was getting my mastery chests, I was getting my in my collection, I was getting all my champions maxed out. I was getting all my blue essence. I was getting this and that and this and that. And it always felt like every game I was working towards something. But this season, I've already played about 50 games. And I don't feel like I unlocked a single thing. Like, did I? Yeah, sure, I got a champion capsule. I got a couple icons. I got 1,000 blue essence. And now, I get that they're walking some of this back. They're adding the first win of the day bonus. I'll touch on that. There's an issue I want to address with the experience. They're giving us a bunch of blue essence. They're changing in the past one of the champion capsules to a glorious champion capsule, but it's not enough. As somebody who had to do a bunch of accounts and recently unlocked every single champion, I have one more to do. If I, for some reason, ever had to start again, I would never play League again because of this system. It is bad. I'm sorry, it's just bad. Like, what are you? I don't know how you expect players to unlock 169 champions when you're giving them scraps. You know how long it would take to unlock 169 champions? If they were going to do this, Sure, include it in one pass, make it simple. But you need to lower the champion prices to like the most expensive one to like 1,000 to make this work. Have it like tiers of 200, 400, 600, 800,000. But having a champion that's 4,800 when the pass gives what? I know I before this when they first launched it was like 4,750. Not even enough for a full champion. Yes, you get one or two champion capsules, but like you're killing your game, guys. That's not what people want. Like I get we're going down the Overwatch 2 path where I played Overwatch for a solid 4 or 5 years. I would say on average about 3 to 4 hours a day. And I unlocked half the game for free. But yes, it was free, but I also poured hours, days, months, years into that game. And then Overwatch 2 came out. I no-lifed it for a month and a half, and I unlocked not a single thing. And that's how I'm feeling with League right now. And somehow this League system is still better than Overwatch 2, so fuck Overwatch 2. Fuck everything about that entire experience. But I feel like they do need to retract a lot of this. I think if you want to keep the chests and have them like half of the amount of chests, that's fine because I do get it. Like for me, I unlocked something like 60 skins in 2023 to 2024. I probably unlocked 60 to 80 skins. Like it's a lot. So I get why they don't want that, or at least limit them to like mid tier to bottom tier skins. Because I'm somebody that actually likes the bottom tier skins. I don't really like a lot of the top tier skins. So if you gave me like Commando Garen, I'm playing Commando Garen. I fucking love that skin. I don't give a fuck. So let people unlock the shitty skins. I don't see an issue with that at all. Uh, Prior to this, probably the last 8 years, I've probably spent about 150 to 300 bucks on League a year. So I always get the World's Pass. I unlock every Vi skin. I unlock every Karthus skin. All right, and I usually like once every 3 months I'll get a battle pass. So it's around the 150 to 300 mark. But with this new system, I just don't feel like spending money. It's not going to happen. It's just not. I feel like it's a terrible system. I don't feel like it can hold up, and I feel like they are going to revert a lot. And they already said that they're going to be adding the first one of the day bonus back, more blue essence, but they need to add the champion capsules back. That needs to come back, or this. I feel like the game's just going to die. I feel like it is that drastic. I don't think any new players will come in, and eventually you start losing players, and if you're not bringing new ones in to replace them, guess what? You're not going to have a game. But that is going to be my feelings for the season. Overall, in-game, fantastic. 10 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, I feel fantastic. Out of game, it needs some goddamn work. But that's going to be the end for me. Be sure to comment all your feelings down below. Comment, like the video if you did enjoy listening to me ramble, and be sure to subscribe. I also have my Twitch link down below. I usually stream about 2-3 days a week, nothing too crazy. But if you want to stop by and yap about League or anything else, feel free. But that is going to be me done for the night. Godspeed, stay safe, I'll see you next time.